Hey guys, it's Kenny here. Thanks for checking out this video. This is actually going to be a three-part series that we're going to be doing, Cameron and I. Kind of going over some of the stuff that we've been doing and some of the mistakes that we've made and how we decided to fix them. And I think you're going to be able to learn a lot from this video as well as the upcoming videos that we have for you. Completely free training. There's no agenda here, so make sure you take some notes and pay attention, and we'll try to make them as quick as possible. I think there's a lot of lessons to learn inside of this video and the others that we have coming up. So it's hard to admit it when you're wrong, but you know, there comes a time where you have to come clean, and that's what we're going to start doing right here. And then we're going to show you the path out so that hopefully you can model that and make something of it. So obviously, as you guys know, we've done quite a few product launches in the past on Warrior Plus and other places as well. And we don't just get lucky once or twice or whatever. You see some of the stats there. We do it over and over and over and over again. And as a matter of fact, over the past 5 years, while Cameron and I have been working together, we've been the most consistent pair of vendors on Warrior Plus. We've had 40 Product of the Day awards in a row, 2 Product of the Year nominations. And you hear me talk about this all the time, right? And the reason why I talk about it, and I think it's so important, it's not to brag. I mean, even though it sounds like that, the reason why is because I believe, and there's going to be a little bit of a slide on this, but I believe that consistency when you do something is key. Anybody can do a product launch and be successful once, and then they're broke 3 weeks later. That's not hard to do. But when you do it over and over and over and over again, it kind of proves that there's something there. It's not just luck. And when you have 40 Product of the Day awards in a row and you have 2 Product of the Year nominations, that proves that we know what we're doing when it comes to launching products. And it also proves that we know what we're doing when it comes to creating the product, because we would never get Product of the Year nominations if our products weren't good and the customers didn't like them. So we've always believed, Cameron and I, and this is kind of the crux of the video, if that's the right word. I don't know if that's the right way to, but this is like the main thing that we're going to be talking about. Me and Cameron and I always believe that creating and launching products is the best way to build an online business. So we talk about this all the time, right? And usually the way it works is we're on Skype and we're trying to develop an idea or come up with something or come up with an email or a subject line or whatever. And one of us will say, well, if you had to make $2,000 or $1,000 in the next week, what would you do? And the answer is always the same. Cameron always says launching a Warrior Plus offer, WSO thing or whatever. And I'll always say, I'm going to hit the phone. And then he'll say, well, you can't use the phone. It's got to be online. And I'll say, okay, then fine, Warrior Plus, right? It's always that. It always comes back to creating and launching products, because we have always believed, and to a point we continue to believe this, but we're going to get into that in a second. We've always believed that creating and launching simple products on Warrior Plus is the best way for anybody to make money on the internet, period. Okay, and I've believed this forever. You can go back and look at the webinar I did with Mike Filsaime 5 years ago, whenever it was. It was about launching products on Warrior Plus, because back then I believed that it was the best way to make money on the internet. And obviously Mike backed me up, or else he wouldn't have done the webinar with me, right? So we've always believed this, and it's been a constant theme in our business for a very, very long time. But we were wrong to a point, okay? Now, that's not to say that launching products on Warrior Plus or JVZoo or ClickBank or whatever is a bad way to do business. It's not saying that it doesn't work. It's not saying that you're not going to make money if you do it. It's not saying that if you're doing that, you're on the wrong path. That's not what we're saying. But what we are saying is that we understand now that it's certainly not for everybody, okay? It is something that you have to really want to do in order to do it. And there's a lot of people out there that simply do not want to launch products or create content or do any of those types of things. And we kind of get it, because to launch a product, you have to create, you know, the products, obviously, right? You have to write sales pages, which is, both of those are really hard. Creating a JV page is pretty easy. I mean, that's not a big deal. But creating products is difficult, especially if you've never done it before, right? If you're not comfortable on a microphone, if you're not comfortable on camera, if you're not comfortable creating slides, if you're not comfortable coming up with an idea and testing it and getting case studies from it, that's not easy to do, right? I always tell the story, when I started creating products, for me, it was really easy because I was doing something that the online marketing or make money online audience would love already, right? I was generating leads from a specific source, and I just taught them how I was doing that. And I was already teaching other people how to do that in the offline space, but I was teaching them how to generate leads for their business. And I just kind of brought that to the online world, and the product killed it. I made, it was like $17,000 in like 3 or 4 days or something like that. And the sales page for me was very easy because, again, I was already a salesperson. So I just did what I did on the telephone and put it on paper, right? I think one of the biggest problems that, I don't want to speak for Cameron really, but for me, I think the biggest problem is that I believe that because I can do those two things, that you can just, boom, pick up and grab it, right? With a little bit of training, with you know, an hour-long video or one Skype session or whatever, you could just pick it up and run with it. And I think over the past couple weeks and months or whatever, we've realized that that's not necessarily the case. The person has to be willing to put in the work, and they have to actually want to do it. If they don't want to do it, it becomes very, very difficult. And, you know, it's one of the hardest things ever. Writing the sales pages, creating JV pages, that's pretty easy. Writing email swipes, that's extremely difficult, especially if you can't sell stuff. If you really don't know the process of selling stuff, it's really hard. And here's the thing, even if you do know how to sell stuff, I'm a pretty decent salesperson. I mean, we can, you know, maybe not the best in the world. I think I am, but that's just confidence. I'm good though. I mean, I'm above average, I would say, right? I think you'd probably agree with that. I suck at writing emails. Ask Cameron, it's a nightmare. He reads my emails and he laughs at me. They just don't work. They're terrible. You've read them. They're horrible. I just don't know how to do it. Even still, over 100 product launches deep, I do not know how to write email copy. I'm terrible at it. And Cameron always says to me, he's like, isn't it just like writing a sales page? I'm like, I don't know. I can't put the two together. Like, I just don't get it. Right? So how can I expect, or anybody expect, someone like you who probably has never written email copy before or never done a product launch before, how can I expect you to do that when I can't even do it? Cameron writes all of our email swipes. I don't, because nobody opens my emails. Nobody reads them. Nobody clicks on them. So I don't know how to do that stuff. Recruiting JVs, I'm relatively good at that, but I'm not great at it. I'm not above average at it. I'm below average, but I can get enough people to push a product launch, and that's really just history and people know me from being in the marketplaces. That's more of that than anything else. It's not really a process or whatever. It's just people know who I am inside of Warrior Plus. So it's easy for me to recruit JVs. But again, someone who's brand new, that's almost impossible to do, right? Sure, you can go on the Facebook groups and post your images, and you can go on Muncheye, which we do all the time. Chris Munch is an awesome guy. We can use all those tools, and anybody can use all those tools. But for someone who's brand new to expect to, recruit Brendan Mace or, an Art Flair or even us, right? Or Luther Landry, whoever, next to impossible for you to do that. Okay, you have to develop a relationship with them before you can get them to mail for you, and it's almost impossible to do. Setting up sales funnels, complete nightmare. I'm going to be honest with you, that is a complete nightmare. We do it all the time, and inside of Warrior Plus, it's extremely easy. But when you start to connect the exterior stuff to Warrior Plus, it is a freaking disaster. I don't know if you guys watched the launch that we did. The Newbie List Hack launched. There was a first one, and then we shut it down like 5 minutes, or not 5 minutes, maybe an hour after it launched. The reason why that happened was because I set up the sales funnel, and I am not a technological guy at all, completely effed up the whole thing, and nobody was getting the stuff. So we had to pull it down. The reason why that is because setting up sales funnels is a nightmare. It just is. There's no way around it, right? That's why a lot of times when we create products with people and try to help them do that, we say, listen, don't even do it. Let us do it, because Cameron knows how to do it really well. I don't know how to do it, but he does. So he goes in and does all that stuff. But to teach you how to do that, or for you to just pick that up and run with it, it's impossible, right? Setting up payment buttons, that's really not that hard. I don't even know why I put that in there. That's basically just copying and pasting a code. But still, you have to make sure that the right buttons are on the right page. You have to make sure that the no thank you buttons are at the bottom of the funnel pages. You have to make sure that the code for the downsell is in there, so that when they click the X button to get out of the funnel, they get a pop-up box. There's a lot into it. It's just copying and pasting a piece of code out of Warrior Plus. But you have to make sure it's all in the right spot and it's all done the right way. I just had a partner of mine, one of our coaching students, write me on Facebook, I think, or Skype or something, an hour or so ago. And he's like, yeah, one of the mobile version buttons on one of my pages leads to the wrong product. Now, not his fault, right? We set up the funnel, not his fault, totally cool. He picked it up. He's already 200, 300 sales deep into his launch. and a customer of his emailed him and said, hey, I clicked the button like halfway through your funnel or wherever it was on the mobile version of the sales page, and it led to the wrong product. So we had to dig in there and find out. So yeah, setting up payment buttons is easy. It's copying and pasting code, but making sure it's all right and it works and it leads to the right thank you page, that's a freaking nightmare. And then you have to pray that your payment if you get all that stuff right, you nail everything, create a great product, write a great sales page, create great JV pages, write email copy that converts like crazy, recruit JV partners, set up the sales funnel, everything works, payment buttons are on there, no thank you buttons, the pop-up boxes, and then all of a sudden, boom, you do 200, 300 sales, and then you're like, holy crap, PayPal, what am I going to do, right? They're limiting me, they're putting a reserve on, they're calling me, they're emailing me. You have to pray that they don't shut you down. Every morning for the past 10 years, I've woken up saying, is this the day? I have a great relationship with PayPal, so I'm not really too worried about it. But I always think like it's possible, right? I don't have a reserve on PayPal. I don't have any issues with them at all. But I always think like it's today the day they're going to limit the account. It's today the day they're going to put a reserve on it, whatever. And we're always worried about that. That's something that is always on our minds. Then after the launch is over, let's say all that stuff goes right? It goes perfectly. And you do a launch that does 500 plus sales or whatever it is, 100, 200, 300, 1,000, whatever it is. Now you have the email support that you have to do. Okay, people are writing you. You have literally hundreds of emails every single day. If you do 1,000 plus launch, you're going to have at least 100 plus emails every day. Every single day to answer, right? A portion of those emails are going to be refund requests. If you don't answer those refund requests with some people, it's within 10 minutes. With some people, it's within 10 hours. It really depends on the person. They're going to PayPal dispute you. So think about this. You nailed the launch. You did everything perfectly. And now you're praying that PayPal doesn't shut you down because you're bringing in so much money so quickly and doing so many processes on their system. Then all of a sudden, people are starting to dispute the charges. Right? Because you're not answering them quick enough. You're trying to keep up with all that stuff. You're not answering them quick enough, so they're disputing you. So you log into PayPal, now you have 10 PayPal disputes, and you have to handle all that. It's an issue, and it's always an issue, okay? Then you have to manage the JVs. They're writing you saying, hey, I need an email swipe for day number 2, or how's the contest going? Did I win? What place am I in? When am I going to get my payout? Why am I on a 30-day delay? Why am I not on instant? All this different stuff. And then you're trying to schedule mailing for those people who supported you during the launch because you got to pay them back with a mailing for their launch. And then after all that, you have to go back into your email support. And then when you're done with that, you got to do it all over again. Starting at creating a product, writing a sales page, getting JVs, on and on and on, right? It's a freaking nightmare. Now, again, does it work? Yes. There is no question. Look at the stats, right? I showed them to you in the beginning of the video, and I wasn't doing that to sell you anything or prove anything to you. I was just showing you that because we've been doing it forever. It works. It's not that it doesn't work. The problem is that it's not for everyone. And we have, over the past few months, come to the understanding between the two of us that if it's something that you don't want to do, even though we believe it's one of the top 3 or 4 ways to make money on the internet, we can argue that back and forth. I believe it's the best way, or at least the second best way to make money on the internet. Then if you don't want to do it though, there's nothing that we can really do to make that work for you. No matter how good of training we give you or coaching, whatever, there's nothing that we can really do to help you with that if you don't want to do it, because the process is daunting. It pays very well. And the rewards are great, the list, the money, everything, but the process is daunting. And if you're not 100% in, it's never going to work for you, okay? The other problem is if you stop, you're pretty much broke. Now, there are plenty of ways to make money through affiliate stuff and webinars and all that, but that's a completely different topic, right? We're talking about a product launch specifically. If you stop launching products, your income stops. That's the point, right? That's what we're trying to say here. Maybe not you're broke, meaning zero in your bank account, but the day you stop doing this process is the day your income stops coming in, because these products don't sell forever for most people. We have a way to set it up where we, $250 online every day and Newbie List Tech, and we have other products that we have out there. They pay us a little bit of money, $300-400 a day. Pretty much for a long time, 6 months or whatever. But most people, that doesn't happen. It's a 7 to 10 day deal and then they're done. So they have to launch products every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks just to keep their income up. All right. So if you can't get through that process once, how are you going to be able to do it every 3 weeks or once a month or whatever? And then eventually add a webinar into it. That's another whole process you got to learn. More emails you got to write, more JVs you got to come up with, more payment issues and processor issues and funnel issues and all that stuff. And again, the point is, if you're not 100% in, it will be a nightmare for you from the start. So I have a quick question for you, and I hope this question will put something in your mind that helps you get on the path that you want to get on. Whatever that path is, I hope this question will help you do that. And the question is, if there was a way where you can do a little bit of work one time and get paid for it literally for years to come, would that be something that you would do? I'm not talking about launching a product. I'm not talking about, doing a webinar. I'm not talking about any of that stuff. I'm just asking you a general question, right? Yes or no answer. If there was a way that you can do a little bit of work one time, okay, and that work could be a number of different things, right? It could be a lot of different things. Whatever it is for you, it doesn't matter. But if there was a way that we could show you how to do a little bit of work once and get paid for years on that one little thing that you did, would that be something that you would do? And again, it could be a lot of different things. So don't say, oh, well, I don't want to do a product launch. That's not what we're talking about. I don't want to do a podcast. That's not what we're talking about. I don't want to do Facebook stuff. Any kind of work, whatever that quote unquote work is for you, whether it's painting a house, cutting a, whatever it is, if there's one thing that you could do once and then get paid over and over and over and over and over again for years, not days or months, years to come from that one little piece of work that you did, would you do it? It's the only question I want you to ask or answer, okay? If there was a way that you can get paid for doing the work one time and it literally pays you forever or years, would you do it? So if that didn't require product launches, like I said, right? I don't want you to say, oh, well, I don't want to do product creation. I don't want to do product launches. I don't want to do affiliate marketing. That's not what we're talking about, okay? What we're talking about is something that pays you forever that doesn't require you to do product launches, because we just said that we're basically wrong on that, right? If you don't want to do that, there's nothing that we could do, no amount of training, no amount of support that's gonna make you do it. Because while it makes you a ton of money and builds you a great list, and it does work very well, the process is daunting. It is for some people, right? It's great for some people. And if it is for you, that's awesome. But 99% of people, it's just not for them. So if there was a way that you can do a little bit of work one time and get paid for years to come on that little piece of work, and that little piece of work didn't require product creation, product launches, content creation, email marketing, affiliate marketing, building a list, paid traffic, JVs, or anything else that you've been taught before, would you do it? And that's the question that I want you to think of. All right, so if there was a way where you could build a solid six-figure income by doing simple work one time and it paid you forever, would you be interested in learning about that? All right, and if the answer is yes, awesome, because that's what we're going to be covering tomorrow in video number 2. We're going to show you a little bit of a behind-the-scenes type thing that Cameron and I have been putting together for the past few weeks or so, and kind of show you how it's done. We're going to also show you some other examples as well of people who make $200,000, $300,000 a month by doing this. And it kind of blows me away, to be honest with you. I kind of hate the people a little bit. Not that I hate them because they're like bad people. I love them because they're really good people, but it annoys me because for me, all I know is product launches, right? That's what I know, and telephone stuff and offline stuff, but that's what I know how to do. These people don't give a crap about Warrior. They don't even know what Warrior Plus is, a lot of them, right? What they're doing is something completely different, and it's basically building not even building, it's just little things that they're doing, little pieces of work that they're doing that end up paying them years later, and it's fascinating when you look at it. And again, I'm not trying to say anything here, we're just showing it to you to kind of gauge interest. If this is something that you guys want to learn about, then we'd love to share it with you in this free series, and it's going to be this video. We're going to do a video tomorrow, or the day after tomorrow, actually, and another video coming up after that. And we're going to show you some examples of what we've been doing and some examples of some other people as well coming up in the next video. So the video is actually not going to be tomorrow. It's going to be on Saturday. So today is Thursday. So the video is going to be coming up on Saturday. And we're going to show you the complete model for free, the whole entire thing. Again, we're not trying to sell you anything here. We're giving you all this for free. We're going to show you exactly how to do it for free. And if you want that model for free, then just enter your email address below and we'll send it to you. We only want to send it to people that actually want it. That's very important to us. We don't want to send it to everybody. We want to make sure that you actually want to learn it. So if you're somebody who wants to learn how to do a little piece of work, something very, very simple that anybody can do, and again, no product creation, no content creation, no JV partners, no email lists, no Facebook traffic, none of that stuff, no offline stuff, nothing like that at all. If you can do a little piece of work, you know, that doesn't include any of those things, and you want to get paid for that literally for the rest of your life, if that's something that interests you and you want to learn more about it completely for free, on Saturday, we're going to give you another 10, 15, 20-minute video basically outlining that model. And then in the video after that, we're going to show you exactly how you can put it into play in your life and your business, starting almost instantly. All right, so if that's something that you would like to learn completely for free, put your email address in below and we'll send you video 2 on Saturday, and then we'll send you the next video after that. All right, again, do a little bit of work, get paid forever. Doesn't include content creation, product launches, email lists, JV stuff, Facebook stuff, whatever. Doesn't include any of that stuff. Completely different model, used by some of the biggest people in the information business. And again, you're not going to be creating content, so don't worry about that. But this is a model that is completely next level for us. And it's definitely next level for you guys as well. And nobody's talking about it. Nobody's talking about it. So it's something that we want to show you guys and share with you guys so that you can use it in your business as well. All right. So if you're interested in learning about that, put your email address in below and we'll send you video 2. Don't read the slide. We're going to show you video 2 on Saturday, not tomorrow, on Saturday. Okay. So keep an eye out in your inbox. Put the email address in below that you want it sent to, and we'll send that video over on Saturday.